My hand's like this.
Oh God! I just realised something.
No, we're good to go. Please don't.
What are we gonna call the podcast?
I'll figure that out. Oh shit.
As in, welcome to the podcast. We don't have a name yet.
Welcome to TailoftheDevil podcast.
Yeah.
I thought, is that not what we agreed?
Yeah, it is actually.
Is that what we agreed?
I think so.
Should we do that?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
That's totally fine.
Dude. I just looked at you. You went. Yes. Well, that was weird. This is how you laugh. You ever look at me? That's what you look like. I have moving hands. My fingers look great. Oh, okay, creepy old man. Look.
Oh, I've stood up. Fuck.
Sit down. You've just lost your positioning.
There we go.
Right. Okay. Cool. Welcome to the Perfectly Captured podcast. You have myself, obviously Vegeta, and my crew. My teammate, Kakarot. Would you like to say a few words, Kakarot?
I'm normally referred to as TailoftheDevil, but I am Perfectly Captured editor.
Yeah, hello. You look like my nemesis, but that's fine.
I'm better than you, by the way.
I'm sorry?
No, just Steven. Goku.
Did you just say you're better than me?
Goku. I'll crash this. I'll do it. We're gonna break.
Wait, I don't know how to turn it off. I fucked it up. We're dead. It's done. No, we're good. We're still in it.
Jesus
right. Okay. Right. Anyway. Today we're gonna do a podcast, and we are gonna be having a few little topics. The first one being
PlayStation versus Xbox.
PlayStation versus Xbox, and for those listening, please feel free to share your thoughts as well, because I believe Xbox is superior in many ways ever since the old days, and I think my friend here, TailoftheDevil or David or Kakarot, disagrees with me. Is that correct?
Half and half.
Alright, so Xbox clearly wins because he's already given up the debate. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Well, okay. So, as we were thinking about this topic, I was thinking, are we going to do this generation by generation or overall?
Let's start off with the PlayStation 1.
Right. But that didn't have a Xbox competitor, right?
No, so PlayStation got a head start on Xbox. Microsoft never had a console out at the time.
Right. So
PlayStation 1 wins.
It wins, although I was going to say, would you count PCs of the time?
Nah, we'll keep it consoles. I think PlayStation 1 was revolutionary, to be honest. I mean, are there any games you can think about that you played on the PS1?
I remember back in the day when I was a kid, we couldn't get a lot of games to run, but I did have Metal Gear Solid 1.
Oh wow.
And Final Fantasy 7 and some of the other Final Fantasies. But I played a lot of those demo discs, you know.
Oh man, you get them in magazines.
Yeah, those PlayStation magazines, they would come with a demo disc. I used to love those magazines.
Bro, you used to be able to get those magazines. They were like £1 or something. No one cared about what the magazine said. It was all about getting those demos, bro.
Yeah, I had like a spindle CD case carrier thing.
Yo, with all the demos in it?
Yeah, it had like loads of demos in it. I loved it.
Yeah, that's actually so fucking cool. Oh, you have to edit that one out. I swore again. Maybe I do swear a lot. Maybe you're right.
Anyway, yes, I didn't play too. Oh no, I do remember playing Tomorrow Never Dies as well. That was a fun game. I didn't play many games on PS1. I'll admit that. So
but you played Metal Gear Solid 1.
Metal Gear Solid 1.
That's so defining, isn't it? I mean, you could talk about Metal Gear Solid all day. I mean, it was an incredible game, and I was very fortunate to go through Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, and 4 with you.
Yes.
And I'd never played it before up until recent, and well, I technically still haven't played it. I watched you go through them all.
I can't wait till the day we actually get you to play it. That'll be so much fun to watch.
Oh, it'll be amazing. But yeah, PlayStation 1 bringing out titles like Metal Gear Solid is incredible. You said something about Never Dies?
Tomorrow Never Dies, the Bond game.
The Bond game. Oh,
yeah.
Laura's gonna crucify me when I didn't recognise that straight away.
Oh.
she loves that game. It's so good. And didn't was it PlayStation 1 that had Croc and Crash Bandicoot?
It definitely had Crash Bandicoot.
Number 1.
Yep. 1, 2, and 3. I think.
1, 2, and 3.
Definitely had more than one Crash Bandicoot on it. I do remember that.
Yeah, that was awesome. So PS1 was incredible. I'm pretty sure didn't it have like the original Resident Evil? I swear it did.
Yeah. Oh, okay. One of these days I wanna do. I've set myself a challenge, like to play every game I've never played before, right?
Okay.
But then, on a different day, different podcast maybe, I want to talk about all the games I've never ever played. And Resident Evil is one of those series that I've never played.
You never played it,
Never.
bro? That surprises me. I would.
I love horror games as well. So.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, dude, even I've played Resident Evil. I remember when I was, I don't know, very young, because I'm obviously old now, and I played Resident Evil 1. I went to my nan's, and my uncle had a PS1, right? And I remember him saying, yo, you can go play some games if you want. I was like, yeah, alright. I went upstairs, played Resident Evil, and it petrified the shit out of me for many, many, many moons. It was great, though. I remember you start off at, like, the police station, and you're, like, injured, and you're trying to go through Raccoon City.
Yep.
I think that's it in PlayStation 1.
I've seen people play it, so I think you're alright. But
Yeah, it's so fun. Oh, and dude, another great game for the PlayStation 1, Ridge Racer.
Ridge Racer was cool.
Do you remember Ridge Racer?
I mean, I played demos of it, but what I did play was really cool.
Oh, mate, Ridge Racer was so good. I absolutely loved it. I'm thinking of all the different games now, but I think, PS1's got a place in a lot of our hearts. It was a great start for console gaming. Of course, there was Nintendo, but we're not talking about that right now.
Console wars, we love it.
So, 1-0, I think, to PlayStation over Xbox, because Xbox didn't exist.
Yeah.
Now, we move on to the big bad boy.
This is where it gets interesting.
Yes. PS2 versus the Xbox.
I had both. I liked both. I actually had one of them. You know, the original Xbox was black, right?
The big, massive block.
Yeah.
Square, literal washing machine brick.
Yeah. But I remember my Xbox, original Xbox that I had, was actually a limited edition, like crystal version.
I had that too!
It was so cool!
You had the crystal
I
Xbox?
did. I think I still have it somewhere.
Do you actually?
In my
Bro,
mom's house,
I
right?
remember going to the beach with my family, because I used to do that, and I remember winning it.
You won it?
I remember winning it, or maybe I was really young and my parents told me I won it and I probably didn't win anything, but anyway, they bought me it and I was just, mate, it was, did you have the controllers as well that were also the same?
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
It was cool. I do like that Xbox.
I had a PS2 and I had clearly I'm spoiled, and I had the Xbox as well. I'm just going to go out there right now and talk about Halo.
Right.
And I think this is a defining point. You right there? You're adjusting yourself.
Slightly adjusted.
Slightly adjusting yourself. I'm a world's martial artist over here, world's best martial artist. Just needs to adjust.
A little bit of a crick in my neck.
Just get a little bit comfortable. Okay. I would say, was it Sims? No. Halo. We'll come back to. I want to talk about the Sims. But
Yes.
Halo 1. Halo 1, or Combat Evolved, I believe it was called. That was amazing.
I'll take your word for it. I never played a Halo
You never
game.
played it.
I've never played a Halo game.
Never played a Halo game.
On the Xbox, on that original Xbox, I had 2 games. I only ever bought 2 games. Well, I was only ever bought 2 games.
And what were these games?
Dead or Alive 3, I think. It was one of the Dead or Alive games.
Okay.
And Metal Gear Solid 2.
On the Xbox?
Yeah.
I thought Metal Gear Solid was PlayStation only.
Metal Gear Solid 2 came out for the Xbox, but Metal Gear Solid 3 did.
Right, okay. So, you don't have much experience with Halo. No experience at all. That's very sad to hear. I think there'll be a lot of people, if they're listening right now, will be very, very disappointed in you.
So we get to the 360.
Yeah, so I think I'm basing my Xbox based on Halo, to be honest, being absolutely amazing. I believe it was Combat Evolved. It came out on the Xbox original block. My time for Xbox more kicked in for the 360, but for now, let's just keep Xbox versus PlayStation 2. Why do you think the PS2 was better than the Xbox?
Okay. If we're talking about the PlayStation overall,
PS2.
Yeah, PS2 overall. In terms of what it could do performance-wise, I do think the Xbox had a slight advantage, but the PS2 had just so many more games that I liked. The game library for the PlayStation 2 was massive.
Like Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy, it had the other Metal Gears on it. Fatal Frame, which is another horror series that I really enjoyed. That was PlayStation 2. I think you get that on the Xbox, but it came out a bit later. That's the thing. I did play loads of games on my PlayStation, but a lot of them were also on the Xbox. I'm trying to think of. I mean, Final Fantasy, obviously.
Were there any exclusives, you think? Or was that Final Fantasy?
I think Final Fantasy was an exclusive for most of that first generation. Oh, well, the PlayStation 2, Xbox generation. There's definitely other exclusives that I can't think of right now, but
It's hard to think back, isn't it, when you go back all the way to the PS2,
yeah.
right? I think The Sims was a huge thing, for me at least, for the PlayStation. I actually started off as a bit of a PlayStation fanboy, to be honest,
Yeah.
versus Xbox. I love playing The Sims Busting Out, and
I did play that.
yeah, and there's another one called Herbs.
My sister played that. I never played
My sister played that too.
that.
I think it was a sister thing,
It
and
must have been.
that was fun, man. That was really, really fun, and that was a PlayStation 2 game.
Yeah.
So I'm tippy-toeing towards the PlayStation. Do you remember the old memory cards you put in there?
Oh god, yeah.
The 64, was it 64 megabytes? Or was it less than that?
No, I think the default ones were 8.
8. Yo.
And then you could get a 64 megabyte.
Yeah, like later on, kind
Yeah.
of thing. Okay. So I think the category for PS2 versus Xbox, I probably am going to hand it to the PS2, in my opinion. From my own experiences, I just think it had more options.
Yeah, I liked it a lot, and I don't know, like the choices of games I got to play on and what I had appealed to me more. Like, I did like shooting games, but I wasn't drawn to Halo or some of the others, at least back then.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did enjoy that era a lot more.
So we're going to hand that potentially to the PS2 as well?
Yeah.
So PS is 2-0 up on Xbox right now.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if it's going to... It might seem like PlayStation's going to win this, but I think we've got some big debates about to pop off, because we're going on memory on the PS1 and 2 here and Xbox.
Yeah.
Our memory's going to get better at the PS3 and Xbox 360, I think.
I think so as well.
So, moving on to the Xbox 360. I think it was better than the PS3 by miles,
Okay.
and the reason for that is Gears of War was an exclusive to Xbox, and it came out for the 360. I don't remember it being out on the Xbox, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it came out on the 360.
Yeah, Gears wasn't on PlayStation, I don't think. ever.
No, it's never been. It still isn't, because
Yeah.
Gears of War is freaking awesome. So we went through the journey there. That was amazing. Marcus and Dom and the Coltrane and Baird, all these amazing characters, and you got the enemy Mira, Queen Mira, and it's just an amazing shooting game, hiding behind walls and taking out Locust Scum. It was absolutely breathtaking. It was an 18 plus. It was very emotional. It was just one of those things, which was fantastic. And you've also got to look at Halo again. I'm going to keep bringing it up until it dropped off a bit later, but Halo as well. You had Halo 2, which was absolutely incredible for multiplayer. I just think Halo 2, it was just one of those games where you'd go around someone's home and you'd bring your controllers and you'd play 4-player split screen, and it's just incredible. I'm trying to think if Halo 2 was on the Xbox or 360, but I feel like it was a 360.
I feel like it probably was 360, because that's when Xbox Live and online multiplayer really started to kick off.
Yeah, so I'm going to throw Gears of War at you. I'm going to throw Halo 2 and 3 at you.
Okay.
And 3 was incredible. And I'm going to throw Fable at you as well.
Oh, Fable's a good one.
Yes.
I did always want. I've never played Fable, but it always looked good.
It's good.
It
So,
always looked good.
so the Fable games, I believe Fable 1 was on Xbox, and 2 and 3, I believe, were on 360. Anyway, you got Fable, Gears, and Halo to compete with. What you got, Mr. PS3?
Whoa, okay, so I did like my PS3. I did like the 360s. The thing about this generation is that with both companies trying to outdo each other, they also made a lot of mistakes. You had the 360 red rings, you had the PS3's yellow lights of death. Eventually they kind of got that sorted out, and if we're looking at the games purely, like, I didn't play a lot of games with my friends back then, because they all had Xboxes and I had a PS3.
Yeah, because all the cool kids played Xbox, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But I remember, okay, Metal Gear Solid again, because Metal Gear Solid 4 came out.
Yeah.
And that was huge. I think that was one of the reasons I got a PS3.
And an exclusive.
Yeah. But that was the first Metal Gear which... Well, actually no, it was the second Metal Gear that had online multiplayer. And I played that religiously.
Yeah,
when all you guys were
one
playing...
you showed me, right?
Yeah. When all you guys were playing Halo and Gears or whatever, I was playing Metal Gear Online. I spent a lot of hours on that.
There's no shame in Metal Gear Online, bro.
Well, there was another game, Warhawk, which was really good. That was the first party studio game for PlayStation. That was pretty good. That was multiplayer only, and you could be infantry, tanks, and aircraft, and just go around doing whatever the hell you want. It was really cool.
That sounds fun. I mean, I'm going to help you out here as well.
God of War, another one.
Oh shit, God of War. Is that came out PS3 time, did it?
It came out. I think it started on PS2 and then it came out on the PS. One of them came out on the PS3, or maybe more. I don't know. But it was another series I didn't play, so I don't know.
So I'm gonna help you out here. I'm gonna help you out. Go back to Final Fantasy again.
Final Fantasy?
Isn't that when Final Fantasy X came out on PlayStation 3?
No, 10 came out on PlayStation 2.
My god, do I feel old as fuck. Okay. I remember...
12 came out on the PS2.
Okay, I just remember it came out on the PlayStation, and then it came out on the Xbox like a year later?
Yeah, Final Fantasy 13 is the one you're thinking of. And that's
No, when we were in college, I remember Final Fantasy X.
No, 13. When we were starting college, 13 was just coming out.
Why do I feel like 10 is such a dominant part of my lives?
Because the 10 remaster did come out. The remaster came out on the PS3 and Xbox at some point. Actually, I'm not really sure it came out on the Xbox.
No, it did. I remember it did, but it came out later. It had a delay because Sony had priority.
That as well. I know one of the good things I liked about my PS2 as well was that it was a Blu-ray player.
Yo, I'll give you that, man. I'll give you that.
They won the Blu-ray versus HD DVD war, so that, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Xbox took a little bit. I think Xbox took a little longer. We had crappy DVDs, well, DVD discs, shall we call them, until the amazing Blu-ray came out, which is basically non-scratch. You can't scratch it really.
Yeah.
Unless you really dig into it, you're not going to scratch it.
And just for its storage as well, like Final Fantasy 13 came out on the PS2 and only needed the one disc. Came out on the 360, you needed 3 discs.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. Maybe we're going into the realms of online multiplayer was better for Xbox, but solo games were better for PlayStation back then.
Possibly. I'm trying to think of other... I'm very bad at remembering like exclusive titles.
We're on the spot, bro. This is the podcast. We're on the spot.
Like, for what were really good first party titles in PlayStation series? I keep coming back to Final Fantasy and Metal Gear, but they're no longer console exclusive anymore.
No, but they were then.
They were.
We're doing PS3 versus Xbox 360.
But Final Fantasy did come out on 360.
Yeah, it did. Look, I'm gonna put my hat in the ring and say 360 has won that. Although there was a lot of Red Ring of Deaths.
Yeah, honestly, I think the 360 did win the generation. It captured a whole lot more players' hearts.
It really picked up, didn't it?
PS3 was good, but it made too many mistakes.
Yeah. So,
it was too much expensive. Like the PS2 was
yeah.
300, 400 at launch, and the Xbox was 200 or something.
Yo, you got a good memory if you remember that.
I saw it, I think it was a couple of months ago, I saw a documentary on it.
So Xbox was cheaper?
Yeah, at the time.
So it wins on price, it wins on multiplayer, and maybe... I don't know if it loses on story, because it had Fable, and it had, obviously, the Halo and Gears of War story, which is incredible. Obviously, like you, I'm missing out a load of things, but it's probably quite close. I'm kind of edging it. One thing about the Red Ring of Death, I just want to mention, I had to put the flipping towel over my Xbox so many times, and it did fix it and then sometimes it would just die. Didn't you say you had like 4 Xboxes or something?
I did. That's why I think that's part of the reason why I never bought an Xbox after that generation ever again, because partly because the games weren't interesting to me,
Yeah,
but also because that generation scarred me a little bit.
I can
think
understand that.
I got so mad at one of my 360 getting red ring, I took it apart myself to see if I could fix it.
Oh shit.
There's no way. At the time I was like 15, maybe. 16.
I don't think there was any way of fixing those red rings. They were just, you're dead.
No, that documentary I watched told me, like, explained to me why they were happening, and that's something that a 16-year-old with no technical skills at the time would have been able to fix at all.
I completely agree. And YouTube wasn't exactly great back then either. So,
Yeah.
okay.
40p videos, yeah.
Exactly. I'm pushing Xbox as the winner.
Yeah, for that generation, I'm gonna agree.
You can agree with that? So 2-1, yeah?
2-1.
All right. Now we move on to the Xbox One
Yep.
versus the PS4.
Yep.
A bit weird with the names. I think Xbox could have been a bit better. Calling it the Xbox One, like, it's a bit odd. The 360 sounded cool,
No, good something.
but PlayStation kept it safe. PS1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. Xbox is one. Xbox 360 1. So I don't know. I don't know if I like the name very much, but other than the name,
I feel like I can flex on this generation a little bit.
you can flex. Yeah.
Xbox made some interesting decisions. Okay, so you remember when they said in the beginning it had to be connected to the internet all the time?
Yes,
The
yes.
Kinect had to be on it all the time.
The Kinect was shit.
And they made that horrible marketing decision where they were like, oh, you can't really share your video games, and then PS4 comes along with that video, was like, here's how you share games on the PS4.
Yeah.
Gives the disc to his friend.
Is that where the PS4 had a little share button on the controller? Is that when it got brought out, or was that later?
The PS4 always had a share button, I
Oh,
think.
right, yeah.
But yeah, and the other thing as well. So in the PS3 360 generation, PS3 was too expensive. Xbox had the right price. This generation, it flipped the other way around.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So PS4 learned from their mistakes, and I think they did really well for the PS4 generation.
Okay. Xbox One had Blu-rays.
So did we.
I know, but I'm just saying, we caught up. We had it.
Definitely.
And in regards to wireless, isn't that when wireless kicked in for both consoles?
Well, PS3s had Wi-Fi. They always had Wi-Fi. I know that.
It must have been that generation before they got that then.
Yeah. But then PS4 was the generation where streaming was starting to kick off as a whole. So you could share stuff and stream from the console itself.
I can't remember if Xbox could do that or not.
I think it could, but I'm not 100% sure.
So, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but Gears of War was, Gears of War was also a thing when that came out. I think, no, when did the trilogy end? Did it end in 360? Well, it might have done, you know. I can't remember. And I can't Google right now because I'm looking at Goku. Google has failed me!
You could ask Alexa.
Yo, Alexa, when did Gears of War... No, sorry, Alexa Sharp. Alexa, what console did Gears of War 3 come out on? Alexa, what console did Gears of War 3 come out on? Fuck, it was a 360 period. No, that's not good because... that's bad because Gears of War 4 came out on the Series X and... Sorry, on the Xbox One, and I don't think it was received very well. They ended the trilogy of the original, and then they continued the game going and brought out Gears of War 4 with a whole new set of cast. As in, like, the main characters weren't the main characters anymore. They were still there, but they were side characters. A lot of people didn't like this, myself included. And Gears of War has always been one of the main selling points for Xbox, because it's one of their only exclusives, one of their big ones. I don't know. They brought out the Gears of War Ultimate Collection on the Xbox One, which was essentially remastered. I think it was remastered the first 3 games, but the best bit about it was the online multiplayer PvP got changed to the remastered edition, and it looked fantastic. So that was good, but the gameplay for Gears of War 4, not so. It was alright, but It wasn't that good. I started playing a lot of FIFA back then. Didn't FIFA belong to Xbox and PES belong to PlayStation?
I think so. Although, I seem to remember being able to play both Pro Evo and FIFA on both consoles.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought at one point there was a thing where if you're a PlayStation, you're PES, and
I forgot about something really important. Back in we have to go back on the generations.
We're going back a few generations.
So PS2, Xbox, it was like Tekken versus Dead or Alive.
Tekken versus Dead or Alive.
And that kind of continued through the generations. But then PS3, PS4, that's when they started to kind of share them. I might be wrong. I think I vaguely remember Dead or Alive 2 being on PS3.
Okay. And you know what? I'll give you something for the PlayStation. The Last of Us.
I watched someone play The Last of Us.
PS4 wasn't it?
I think it came out on PS3, and then the remaster came out on PS4.
Okay, well they brought out Last of Us 2 anyway on the PS4.
Yeah.
Right.
I've not seen or played any of The Last of Us 2.
Did you play much PlayStation 4?
I did. What, 4? PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
I did play a lot of PlayStation 4 because that was the time where I moved out of my parents' house, I had my own job, spent my money. So I've got loads of games for the PS3 and the PS4, many of which I haven't actually touched, but on my Steam library. Valkyria Chronicles was a really good exclusive for the PS3 and PS4 and PSP, so that was an interesting game for it. I leaned more towards the JRPGs, so if it was a JRPG I'd probably play a bit of that. PS4, what? Persona. Oh, I played loads. Persona! How did I forget about Persona? That's an exclusive. I think it is.
You think it is?
Maybe not now, but it was right until the PS4 generation.
Okay. What about, I'm pretty sure...
The Tales of series as well. I'm not sure that's an exclusive. I'm not sure of any of my information, but...
Red Alert 3. No, that came out on the Xbox 360, I think. Red Alert was a fantastic series. I think it was more... Oh no! Bro, how have we not said this? What is wrong with us?
What?
So, Red Alert originally came out on PS1.
Really?
Yeah, it was fantastic, man.
Jesus.
I used to. Right, we're going back even more generations now. So I used to go to when I was finishing school, secondary school. I'd go to my mates, and he would have. I was like the coolest person ever because he'd have 2 TVs, and you linked 2 PlayStations up, and you could battle each other on a separate TV on Red Alert. And it was freaking. Oh man, PlayStation 1 was the G. It was good. It was good.
It was good times.
PS4 and Xbox One. I kind of feel like they started to be equal a little bit at this stage.
Yeah.
There was a few exclusives for both consoles, but Halo started dying at this point. But Gears of War, and so did Gears of War actually, come to think about it. So did Fable. Fable was gone at this point as well.
I think the PS4 did alright because at that time the anime boom was kind of taking off, and there was a lot of games that came from Japan, and a lot of them were PlayStation only. Because in Japan, the Xbox is kind of, at least with like the 360 and maybe the Xbox One, it was kind of seen as a niche. There weren't that many Xbox fans in Japan.
Yeah, I remember about that.
Might be different now, but a lot of those Japanese PS4 games came over to the West. Like Valkyria was one, that was a really good series. And a lot of anime tie-ins and stuff like that. So I think I had a lot more games I wanted to play on the PlayStation than
Question.
the Xbox. Yeah.
Did the Xbox Marketplace Game Pass come out at this stage? I feel like it did.
I think at the end of the Xbox One's life.
So that still counts.
Yeah, but then PlayStation had its own thing, which wasn't as good.
No, it wasn't. That's my point. If we're doing Sony, Microsoft, PlayStation, Xbox, the marketplace for the Xbox was fantastic. It was good. Like, I think it was cheaper. I'm not an expert on the Sony one, but I think it was cheaper, more accessible, easy to use, and again, I still think multiplayer reigns supreme on the Xbox consoles.
I'll agree with you on... Okay, I dislike the way they do the PlayStation Store stuff. The way it's laid out and how clunky the menus feel. Oh, it hurts my soul.
Yeah, it was a bit clunky, wasn't it?
Yeah. And And the online multiplayer, like in the PS3 Xbox generation, Xbox definitely had it in the lead. The only good thing going for the PS3 back then was that PlayStation Network was free.
PlayStation Network was free.
Yeah, but then on the PS4, they started charging for it, just like Xbox did. But then I would think as a result of that, the online multiplayer did get better for the PlayStation. But I still think Xbox was just a little bit ahead because they had experience.
I feel like there wasn't much in it. I feel like maybe Xbox did just have the advantage as well, but it's very close. It's something like 55% to 45%.
Yeah.
Like, it was close. It was probably the closest they've ever been as competitors, I'd say.
Yeah, but looking at it as well from other perspectives, so with the PS4 you could stream to Twitch, stream to YouTube, watch a lot of YouTube, like all the apps like Crunchyroll and BBC and whatever. I think the Xbox had something similar.
It did. I remember it did.
It also had like remote play, so you could play it on your phone or you could play it on PlayStation Portable or Vita or
Yeah.
your computer if you wanted.
So it's pretty even at this point.
Yeah, I think
Even the Blu-ray discs.
even the Blu-ray discs.
Okay.
I can't think of anything else that PlayStation might have had as an advantage. The only thing I can think of is that when the PS4 Pro came out, I think that was a bit better than the upgraded Xbox One. or whatever.
Yeah, because they brought out the Xbox Slim line.
Yeah.
And I remember I bought the, obviously, Gears of War console.
Yeah.
And it had I think it had 2 terabytes of storage. And that was nuts. And it had, and it had a 4K Blu-ray player.
Okay. Yeah, I think the PS4 also could do 4K. I think it had a 2 terabyte hard drive. I should know this, I've got one. But I think it had a 2 terabyte hard drive. You could also plug in external hard drives as well to top up the game storage if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's the same as Xbox 2.
So in terms of functionality, I think they're basically identical. Towards the end of that era, they're basically identical.
So maybe we go for either a draw or...
Looking at it logically, it's like a draw. There were more games on the PS4 I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like, there was nothing on the Xbox side that I was kind of thinking, I need to buy an Xbox.
Yeah. So maybe we call it a draw for the PS4.
Did Final Fantasy VII Remake come out on the Xbox? I think it did. Yeah.
I feel like if I say it didn't, you are gonna say it.
I think it was I think it was a timed exclusive. We had it for a year and then everyone else got it afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Call it a draw?
I think it's a draw.
Okay. Well, guess what? We're moving on to the last of the generation of consoles. So PS1 obviously wins. PS2, we said that one as well.
Yeah.
Xbox 360 we gave the win over the PS3. We done a draw, so it's 2-1 and a draw to the PlayStation.
Yeah.
The final, if PS5 wins this, it's the dominant console.
Football.
It is like football. So we're going into the last end of this debate here. We're going to have the PS5 versus the Xbox Series X.
And this is where it gets interesting because I don't own the PS5. I played with one, but I don't own it.
Okay, well I know a few bits about it and about both, and I know for a fact that when the Xbox came out, it was more powerful than the PlayStation 5.
Right.
It had more teraflops. It was just better. It had all the flops.
All the flops.
Also, I believe it was cheaper as well. So the PS5 was more expensive, the Xbox Series X was cheaper, the Xbox Series X I think looked better because it looks like a fridge.
Not the PS5 or the Xbox?
The Xbox looks like a mini fridge.
Yeah, that's like one of those monoliths from Space Odyssey.
Yeah, but the PS5 looks like a spaceship.
The way that PS5 looks, I don't hate it, but I don't love it.
It's also too big.
It is massive.
It's too big.
It's gigantic. Okay, so going back to what you said about the Xbox Series X being faster. Okay, so PS4 generation, Xbox One generation, they had a refresh halfway through that era, right?
Right.
And there's almost definitely going to be another one of those in this generation. Like, I've already heard the rumours of the PS5 Pro. I don't know about the Xbox Series X. if we need to add another letter, number, whatever to the end of that.
I'm just call it the Xbox 28 or something.
Xbox Triple X.
Triple X, yeah. That would be cool. Good film.
So in terms of how it's performing, at the moment, Xbox probably does edge out or win from performance, but again, there's nothing on the Xbox that's really putting me over. Like, we're both into PC games.
David. Gears of War.
Gears of War. I tried Gears of War 5 on the PC.
I know. I watched you play it. I
didn't hate it, but I didn't fall in love.
Wow.
It was like a one-time thing.
What? You're telling me it was a one-time thing for Gears of War?
I mean, I haven't.
Look me in the eyes and tell me that.
It was a one-time thing. We're gonna. Nah. We don't want to crash this.
Right, fine.
Right. Game Pass.
Game Pass.
Game Pass on the Xbox.
Domination.
Yes. The PlayStation Now service is improving, but I still think it's not up to the same level as what Game Pass is.
Game Pass is fucking awesome. You can get it for you. Get it, and I think before I interrupted you, I think you was going to go into saying how we're PC players and you can benefit from that Game Pass. Am I right?
Yeah. So like, we've played with friends before who were on Xbox, but we were using our PCs, but we were both on Game Pass, that ecosystem. That's cool. I like it.
So Xbox reigns supreme again in my eyes because you got so much out of it if you're a PC player.
Yes, I agree with that.
And would you agree that we're starting to drift out of the console wars at this point, and it's more just being open to everything? It's like both consoles are now kind of opening up to PC, aren't they?
Yeah, I do agree with that. And the way I see it, okay, Game Pass is better. Overall, it's better for what value it gives for the gamers.
Got a win for Game Pass, okay.
There was something else that popped into my head and flew off. What was I just about to say?
You're about to say Xbox wins, this is 2-2.
Oh, backwards compatibility.
Xbox was better for that, right?
Xbox was good for that. I think it was really good for that.
I can play loads of games on the Xbox 360
I think
now.
there's only a handful of games you can't play from the Xbox One era and 360 era.
Mate, there's even some Xbox games you can play as well. I was playing Fusion Frenzy a couple of years back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for the PS5, they've always been terrible with backwards compatibility before the PS4. Actually, no. Okay, the PS2 could play PS1 games. Okay. The PS3 could, with a little asterisk, play PS2 games and PS1 games.
Yeah.
Although only one certain type of model of PS3 could do that. The other PS3 could only play PS1 games.
Right.
And the way they built the PS3 made it impossible to backwards compatibility it with the PS4, so that didn't happen. And the PS4 couldn't play PS2 games, but had to rebuy all the games.
So PS5 couldn't do any of that either?
PS5 could play PS4 games and upscale them to PS5 graphics, whatever.
But you couldn't do 3?
You couldn't do 3 because of Sony's stupid decisions in that era. And I don't think a PS5 game can play a disc of a PS2 game or a PS1.
Right. I think.
So in terms of backwards compatibility, Xbox wins that too.
Mate, I mean, unless you can convince me otherwise, and I'm the dog over there. Xbox wins on the Game Pass. Xbox wins on the compatibility. Xbox wins on power. Xbox Series X, also being Microsoft, is better for PC games as well. I mean, I think the design might look a bit boring, but it's safe, and the PlayStation looks like an aircraft from Dragon Ball Z. So I would put it towards Xbox as a hand-down winner. Out of all the ones we've spoken about, this is the only one I could just go, yeah, it's just an easy win.
Now here's the thing. I can't defend the PS5 properly because I don't have it. I don't know what it's like.
But what we've just said, power, accessibility.
But there's other things as well. So
you were about to say something which was about it's more than just power. It's more than just having a better accessibility. It's more than just winning in every single way possible. You were going to say something about maybe exclusives or the feel of the game, maybe?
No, so okay, PlayStation fanboys are always going to go with the thing like, oh, it's not about the power, it's how you use it, right?
It's not about the power.
But I don't want to use that excuse. So for me, the thing that I liked about the PlayStation the most was how it felt. How it felt.
Well, the PS5.
I've used the PS5. I don't own one, but I feel one.
The console and the Xbox Series X controllers, they feel great. The Elite controllers feel fantastic.
Yeah, I really like the Xbox controllers. I hated the PS2 controller.
Okay.
I like the PS4 controller.
Yeah.
I like the PS5 controller. But Xbox do really good controllers. They win in the controller thing hands down.
So they win this as well.
They win that as well.
So you're meant to be PlayStation, right?
I know, right? But here's the thing: none of the games on Xbox ever really pulled me. Gears of War, Halo, yeah, they're great games, but I like my JRPGs. Xbox had a few JRPGs. They had some okay ones that I really enjoyed them actually, but it just didn't have the game library for me that interested me. So Game Pass is great and all, but if it doesn't have games that interest me, what's the point? And then there was... Are you trying to flip me off? Okay. Nah. We're supposed to be professional.
Sorry.
We're Saiyans. We're just saying pride.
You want my Saiyan pride?
Don't crash the game.
I'll show you my Saiyan pride. You want to see it? You want to see it? Alright, okay.
I'm gonna put a little edit in there and be like, TV's cut off and it goes to technical difficulties with that rainbow thing.
Oh, definitely a good idea.
That's gonna be good.
Also, for those that are on Spotify and couldn't see what just happened, lol.
There might be I think it might work as a video.
Oh, then lol at me for saying that. Okay.
Well, anyway, let's get specific.
So what have you got that can even compete? Because so far I hear, oh, the controller feels nice on my skin.
So PS1
No,
PS5.
PS5.
No. We have to go back a couple of generations. PS2, I enjoyed the feel of it. The Xbox, like the graphic design, like you going through the menus, picking the games, was cool. But I still prefer the PS2. There's something about when we start a game on the PS2, right?
Yeah.
And that intro screen pops up, and it's that iconic sound. I fell in love with it. And Xbox just didn't have that.
Xbox had a big X, like a
that
big
felt
X.
like a spaceship. You're just about digging on the PS5
the
for looking like one.
Yeah, but the PlayStation 5 looks like a spaceship.
Yeah, but
And working. No, I'm not finished. Where can you fit? How are you gonna? Okay, so for example, my TV stand,
right.
I can put the Xbox in. It fits nice because it can go on its side,
right.
and the air vents are at the top, so it's
right.
all got lovely airflow. You can't fit a PlayStation 5 in there. That would be a furnace within about 2 minutes.
A PS5 is big, but I'm talking about PlayStation in general.
Okay.
The aesthetics, right? We've decided that the controllers are better than Xbox. I'll agree with that. But PS3. Did you ever use a PS3?
I definitely used 2. I did play 3, but not much. I was definitely on the Xbox side at this point.
Right. So, on the Xbox 360, in that same era, the way you selected games or went through all the other apps on the system, you had that blade stick, right?
Okay.
I liked that. That was pretty cool. Then they replaced it with something stupid. I hated that.
They went for a bit of trial and error.
Yeah. The PS3 XND system, I loved that. That aesthetic of being able to scroll through and pick your games in a simple but powerful way. Really liked that.
Yeah.
And like being able to load all your music and videos and everything, and it was all easy accessible. Really like that. PS4 took that. Well, it tried to evolve it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it as much as the PS3. But I still prefer that over to what the Xbox is. Because the Xbox One at that time looked like Windows 8, and Windows 8 was a ball ache.
I can agree to that. It looked like that, yeah.
PS5, I've not had much time to mess around with it, but I do like how they've laid things out. PS4 still needs work, but it's better.
It's always going to need work.
Better. But Xbox Series X, I don't know how it feels playing with the Series X. I don't think I've really ever touched one of those, but overall, I like the PlayStation aesthetic. That's not going to convince me otherwise.
you prefer the PS5 aesthetic?
I prefer how it feels to use. And like, I wish the PS5 was black. But Jesus, okay. I wish the PS5 was different color. I believe you can remove the faceplates and change it to whatever you want anyway, so it isn't a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's something about the way the PS5 looks, how it feels, how you're using it. I like it more than an Xbox than that.
But you're still gonna vote for the Xbox Series X, aren't you?
Tell me, okay, before I answer that question, give me 3 cons of what you think is bad with an Xbox Series X. Because I don't know.
You want to know the bad things
I've
about
never
Series X?
known. I've not used a Series. At least I've played it with PS5.
Bad things with the Series X.
Yeah.
I would say the original controllers can break quite easily, like the trigger buttons. I know Laura had about 4 controllers, and until I bought her an Elite one, it's been fine. But the controllers did get a bit breaky. I think that's a fair comment to say.
Okay.
2 other bad things about the Series X. The price was good. Game Pass is good. Multiplayer is obviously good. They've also integrated Discord into the Series X now.
I think the PS5 has just got that.
Just got it?
I think so.
Honestly, it sounds really lame, but I can't think of really any other errors. Like, it looks lovely, it plays well, it's powerful.
What's its internal storage like?
Okay, that may be something to pick up on. So the internal storage, I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's 2 terabytes. But I'd have to check that, but I feel like it's 2 terabytes.
Alright. If I remember correctly, the PS5 has either a 1 or a 2 terabyte NVMe SSD.
Yes, it's also the same. I'm not sure if it's quicker for the Xbox or not.
That's the thing, I think the Xbox might have a regular SSD. And if that's true, then...
I don't know, because whenever I load up Xbox, right, I could have been playing a game 5 days ago, yeah?
Yeah.
If I load up a game now, I'll be instantly back in the game.
Yeah.
Like, it can be turned off and everything. I turn it on and boom, I'm in.
It's the instant recall feature I think both systems have. But, okay, how fast does it take to load a game? Like, just from a cold boot?
It's instant.
Like, you press it boots up, you're in a game.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's just like that. The console could be off, and I can press a button, and boom, I'm in. It's very, very rapid.
I think the PS5 is similar. You can expand the PS5 with another slot of SSD. It's got one in there, empty, waiting for you to fill it. And you can plug in external hard drives to top that up as well. Can you do that on an Xbox?
Can you top up the... I don't know, to be honest with you. I feel like the answer is yes, because I'm pretty oh, you mean for more storage?
Yeah, could you just plug in another hard drive?
Yes, you can. I remember when the Series X came out, they announced that you could buy them.
But even via the USB ports?
Yes.
Okay. So they're pretty neck and neck. For me, I've not used the PS5 enough to have an opinion.
But Xbox, stronger, faster, better exclusive arguably as well. Marketplace, game, fine. Game, stick with me. Game Pass is better accessibility for the PlayStation as well. It was cheaper as well, bear in mind. And they are re-releasing a Fable 4. Just to let you know, Fable 4 is coming out exclusively, I believe, to Xbox, which will be freaking awesome. And obviously Gears of War 6, the final second trilogy, is coming out as well. All I know that PlayStation has is Spider-Man. That's all I know. So,
Final Fantasy. I think every Final Fantasy that's released on the PlayStation in the last 2 generations, they've always had a year head start.
Yeah, they have. So my vote goes to Xbox. I can't see how it can't, personally. Cheaper, more powerful, more accessibility. There's 3 big mores there. That's just it.
See, I'd be more confident if I actually owned a PS5.
Yeah, but if something's cheaper, more powerful, and has more accessibility, that's got to be better.
The thing is, I'm not so sure about that more powerful bit.
It is more powerful. I can't remember the stats off the top of my head. It's got more teraflops.
Wow. Because, okay, I think the PS5 has an AMD graphics processing unit. and I can't remember what the processor is.
So off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you either, but I know. I remember looking at the side by side.
Because I remember reading somewhere that the PS5 was stronger. But
So you're right and you're wrong. At the moment, no, it's not. Xbox is stronger, but I remember hearing a lot about you could unlock more with the PS5. Like as time goes on, there's a way to unlock additional things with the PlayStation. I don't know what they are, but I've heard that it can be more powerful than the Series X. Like they're both as like two standalone consoles. Xbox is more powerful, but PS can be unlocked to be more powerful. So it's kind of like.
Oh, there's one thing the PS4 and the PS5 had that the Xbox One and the Xbox X doesn't.
What's that?
VR. It could do VR.
No one plays PlayStation
There's
VR.
apparently a lot of people
No,
do.
that's like me saying, "Oh yeah, you can get the Kinect, mate. You can get the Kinect." No, I'd rather use this Quest headset. Thank you very much.
But it could do it.
Oh, ooh.
Could do
The
it.
Kinect could do it as well, but no one bought those things except for this mug at midnight and the midnight launch. I'm gonna buy a
You know
Kinect.
those Kinects are actually, when they're not connected to an Xbox, they're actually really good.
I don't want to even try that. I will never.
They're good for motion capture and medical stuff.
I don't ever want to see a Kinect again in my life.
Uh,
Right, vote's done. It's time. PlayStation are on 2-1. My vote goes to Xbox.
I'm voting PS1. I've not played either console. They both seem neck and neck. There's no games on the Xbox I like. It can do VR.
Oh, okay, right. So, guys, just to clarify, everybody, listen for a second.
I think it's more powerful.
No, you've had your say. You've had your say. So, Xbox Series X doesn't look like a spaceship. PS5 does look like a spaceship. No. Xbox Series X, more powerful. PS5, weaker. Xbox Series X, Game Pass, accessibility to PC. PlayStation, farts. Right? Just farts. Xbox Series X, cheaper. PS5, more expensive. Which one shall we go for? Oh, let's obviously go for the PS5 because it's got VR. Yeah, it's got this really shitty VR, which he's clinging on to for some reason.
No, I like the PS5.
You are Goku. You are not thinking like. You are not thinking straight. You are not thinking straight. I'm
There's
Vegeta.
no games I like on an Xbox.
No, I'm superior. I'm the Principal Saiyan.
I'm taller.
I don't care. I'm the Principal Saiyans. You are a peasant, low-ranked warrior. Okay, just your opinion is invalid in this last debate of the consoles.
Well, how about this? If we can't agree, we leave it up to you, the viewers, the listeners. What do you think is better? Let us know in the comment section.
Let us know in the comment section
And
why this person's stupid.
Let us know in the comment section. And yeah, I'd love to know why you think the PS5 is better than the Xbox Series X.
And I think to wrap this up, we're going to crash the game by going Super Saiyan. You ready?
Alright.
Let's go. I'm stronger. Xbox Series X. Let's go.
Oh god, the frame rate is tanking. We just look like we're on fire.
We are on fire, just
Fire,
like the
let's be
laptop
on
at the end of this as well. Let's turn the auras off, man. We're gonna blow.
Yeah.
Right, so that ends the debate. We'll catch you in the next one.
PS5 better.
Shut up, Kakarot. Xbox Series X is superior, obviously.
Yeah, cool.
You are a peasant, low-class warrior. You belong to Sony. I'm a Principal Saiyan. I belong to Xbox.
Yeah, like I'm a loser. I can almost hear the creak there.
We're ending the podcast. End the podcast now.